Welcome back to BFB Pick Flicks, the bi-monthly series where we highlight the most underrated releases of the American movie calendar. From single-setting indie dramedies to Spike Lee's American remake Redemption Round, the BFBs have got you covered with all the underrated summer hits before it comes time to usher you along to awards season. Calmly meditating and tragically hilarious, Ava Victor's filmmaking debut, Sorry, Baby, follows a young woman in the years after a traumatic event. Agnes, played by Victor, is a graduate student in a quiet college town who works closely with her professor to finalize her thesis. One night, her professor invites her to his house to review her latest pages, and the next day he resigns, never to be seen again. What follows is a non-linear journey involving unhelpful authority figures, hesitant new relationships, and the joys of a good sandwich offered by a kind stranger. Setting the film in the same town over 5 years emphasizes Agnes's suspended response and difficulties in overcoming negative memories. Victor expertly handles this interior story with a clear vision and a biting wit, making for a bittersweet watch. Bad things happen, and yet life goes on. Stream it now on VOD. How do you reckon with your legacy? Loudly. Spike Lee and his latest protagonist, Denzel Washington's David King, both take a look back at a long career and ask what it was all for, and what the way forward is, in highest to lowest. Lee's remake of Akira Kurosawa's classic, High to Low, itself based on the Ed McBain novel King's Ransom. Washington brought this project to Lee for their 5th collaboration. It's easy to see how this bold and brash reimagining appealed to both men well into their careers. In this version of the story, King is the founder of Stackin' Hits Records, a massive label that he feels has gotten away from him in his later years. Just as he attempts to buy back the company he put so much into, King gets a call saying his son's been kidnapped. So goes the original. Lee and writer Alan Fox imbue this version not with the live wire energy of Kurosawa, but with a palpably discordant melodrama. At least, that's how the first hour plays. Jagged and all too sweet, an hour goes by where one must ask if Lee's lost his touch along with his on-screen hero. Yet, with the snap of the wrist and quickest of edits, the big picture locks into focus as Lee reveals he's been playing a long game, a prestige of sorts. The back half of Highest to Lowest is some of the most pristine entertainment of 2025, and a triumphant declaration from Lee that he's not going anywhere. See it in theaters. The Philippou brothers have once again sent the skin of audiences crawling with their highly anticipated second film, Bring Her Back. Older brother Andy, played by Billy Barrett, and younger sister Piper, played by newcomer Sora Wong, are sent to a new foster home following the traumatic death of their father. The siblings soon realize that something is amiss with their odd new family, consisting of mother Laura, played by Sally Hawkins in one of the most unsettling performances of the year, and enigmatic foster son Ollie, played by 12-year-old Jonah Wren Phillips. The level of tension and dread climbing higher and higher as the story progresses is agonizing. All of the characters have suffered losses, and their grief and trauma manifest in different, horrific ways. The actors give astounding performances, with the young cast entirely holding their own against veteran Hawkins, which is no mean feat. It's safe to say we can anticipate more great work in the years to come from these fantastic young actors, and, if we're lucky, a potential Oscar nomination for Hawkins next spring. Igarashi Kohei may not yet be the biggest name in Japanese filmmaking, but with the release of his 3rd feature, Super Happy Forever, he should become a main contender for one to watch. Hiroki Sano plays Sano, a young widower whose grief over his wife is manifest in all the traditional outlets, including overconsumption and dramatically chucking his phone into the ocean. While on vacation to the beach where the two of them met, he leans on his friend Miyata, who is slowly running out of patience for him. Sano easily repels the women drawn to Miyata's comparatively radiant aura, and is seen hitting an all-time low when writer-director Kohei switches it up, working back through time to show where Sano's love began. Super Happy Forever intuitively renders a succession of memories generated by loss, emphasizing the sentimental objects and mundane experiences to whose ghosts their estranged participants must cling. It's a low-key romance, featuring a manic pixie dream wife who is redeemed from her trope because of how charmingly Nairu Yamamoto portrays her character's borderline amnesia, and a subtle bigger picture arc featuring a Vietnamese housekeeper. The result is a quaint and poignant drama whose coastal setting will have you humming Beyond the Sea for more than one reason. Stream it now on Mubi. Unlike the other romantic comedies starring Dakota Johnson released this summer, Splitsville offers a witty commentary on modern relationships through high-density screwball humor. The movie focuses on 2 couples experiencing non-monogamy in different ways. One claims it's the foundation of their happy marriage, while the other tries it as a last resort to avoid divorce. Co-writers Angelo Covino and Kyle Martin, who also play lead roles, alongside Adria Arjona and Johnson, condense the situations into a 5-act structure, with each one showing notable care for blocking and decoupage that elevates the script. No other moment represents this better than the unexpected fight sequence, which hilariously satirizes toxic masculinity. Of course, mileage may vary on how funny it ultimately ends up being, but it's always great when a Hollywood comedy remembers that cinema is a visual medium. For more insightful reviews, check out our blog at www.bufffilmbuffs.com. I'm Lydia from the BFBs, and we'll see you at the movies.